We gotta step on the gas. We got a lot of shows. Let's go.
Yeah, welcome to the Protagonist seat. That's Ian. I'm Alex. We actually have to go somewhere after, so we have to step on the gas. Gas.
We gotta step on the gas. Okay.
We gotta record real fast.
That's the bit. You get the bit. You get
the bit. We're on a time crunch here.
And everything was up this week.
Yeah, everything was up. Why couldn't this be last week?
I know, of course, right?
Anyway,
FGO.
Yeah, you know how it works here. This is the Protagonist seat. You're the same people. This isn't new people.
It's the same dudes. You know what's up.
All right.
If you don't, you'll figure it out because you're smart and we love you.
You guys are so smart. You guys are smart kids.
Look at them. I'll give them an A+. They're smart kids. Let's talk about FGO.
Fate Grand Order. Absolute Demonic Front.
Absolute demonic units.
So Enkidu got Nothing Personnel Kid backstabbed last episode.
Yeah, because he got arrogant and was kind of dumb and let his guard down.
And yeah, these things don't listen to him. They're going to go around and do whatever they want.
Because they're evil.
And now Enkidu's on the run because now he has no one.
Yeah, they're chasing him down, and basically the thing that stabbed him took the Holy Grail thingies out of his chest and ate it.
And now they can fly.
Yeah, well, it can at the very least. And they're like, holy shit, we gotta fight that thing before it gets back to to Tiamat, or we could save Enkidu. Well, fuck that guy. We don't care about him. Yeah. So they leave him.
And then Enkidu goes off on his own, and he's all sad, and he's about to get murked by two of the Lamus,
Yeah.
And then one comes by and saves him, and of course it's the best Lamu because it's Siduri.
Siduri, best Lamu, 20K19.
And then she dies saving him, which is going to point him on the path to being a good Enkidu.
Yeah, even though he's wrecked his shit and not as strong.
Yeah.
He'll do something.
And then evil Ushi Wakamaru shows up.
Yeah, and we get a servant battle again, because servant battles are cool. But we get it with a lot of servants.
Yeah, but I don't know. This one was okay.
Yeah, it was very short. It was like, all right, we got to expedite this one part. Because I remember, I think in the phone game, this lasted a lot longer. Because isn't it like 3 missions or something?
It's just like repeated dialogue, though. Like, haha, you have to fight me again for padding.
Yeah, basically...
which wasn't fun.
Ushiwaka is evil now because she was made evil by the mud. And they fight her, and then she multiplies. And then they fight her more.
Yeah, and then they have to get back because the mud is encroaching upon the land.
And the mud corrupts everything it touches, turning everything into beasts.
Yeah, so it's not good.
No bueno. But they fail to stop the Holy Grail from getting to Tiamat. So now we're going to Plan B, guys. What is Plan B? Attack her. Attack Tiamat directly.
Attack on Tiamat.
Attack on Tiamat.
Having a sex with the bees and the eagles.
That is good shit.
You know what else is good shit? Welcome to Demon High School, Aruma-kun.
Smash cut. We wake up. Sullivan's back. Iruma's back in the room. He was asleep. He can't move no more.
And he explains, they kind of explain what happened while Iruma was out. The professors end up going to a rooftop, and turns out Familiar Professor, his bloodline ability is he can shoot magic arrows that go through anything.
Yeah, Robin, a guy who dresses all in green and is named Robin, has an ability where he's very good at shooting arrows.
Yep, and the arrow reaches Sullivan, and after he's like, there's a problem at the school. Guess I don't have to wait here anymore, and he just gets up and leaves.
Yeah.
Because turns out he could have left that prison at any time.
He just walks out. Sorry, guys, but I've got to go. It was fun playing chess.
And then he goes and he saves everyone from the firework residue because that actually would have landed on everybody.
And it's pretty cool because Sullivan is very strong and he's a badass.
Yeah, and so all the teachers get together, and it's like actually a really badass scene where they're all like walking down the hallway, and he looks super like serious. And then Kiryu is just kind of waiting.
Yep.
Because he's given up. He's resigned to the fact that he lost.
And everyone kicks in the door and they're like, stop resisting! And he's like, I'm not resisting.
And he explains that he's fine that he lost because the greatest despair of all was the despair he saw on his own face.
Yes.
And everyone's like, ugh.
This guy's weird, and he is weird. But we don't have to worry about him because he's arrested now.
Yep. His sentence, though, will probably be light, though Sullivan said, because he didn't technically kill anybody, and no one got hurt. He just intended to hurt everybody.
It was intended it was intended terrorism. That makes it better.
Yeah. And then the next half of the episode is them actually all enjoying the festival with their families. And this was actually a touching thing.
Yeah.
Because everyone's there with their families, and Aruma's a little sad because it's like, oh, I've never really had that.
I love Asmodeus' mom.
Yeah.
She is great.
So we finally meet Asmodeus' mom, and she is just...
extra.
Yeah. She is a succubus.
And she is one of the head succubi.
Yep. And he's just like, Mom, stop! Oh, and Clara's family has another musical.
Yeah, whenever they show up, it's a fucking musical.
Yeah, and apparently they mentioned that Clara's dad and older sister apparently are like a thing, but that's spoilers
away.
for now.
Yeah, we'll get to that plot later, which they probably won't.
Not in the anime, at least.
Yeah, read the manga to learn about that.
Yeah, but yeah, Asmodeus' mom's super extra, and then he's like, man, everyone's hanging out with their families. That seems nice. But then Sullivan shows up, and he gets to actually...
Sullivan and Opera are like, hey, we're your family, too. And he's like, that's pretty cool.
And he actually is super happy because this is, like, the first time he's really had a family.
Which is pretty sad.
Yeah, because his other family was awful.
Shitty.
Yeah.
And they sold him to a demon who was a better parent.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats.
And they have a great time. Opera keeps winning all the festivals, like, games.
He is... too good.
Yeah, and some of the parents are complaining to, like, the grumpy teacher.
To Kalego.
Yeah, and he's like... And then he sees immediately who it is and just turns around.
Nope. He nopes the fuck out of there. So they win, and everyone's like, hey, man, it's cool that your family showed up. You got a pretty cool family. And I think it's Jazz, the guy who steals all that shit and was in the new Magic Battler.
Like, yeah, my brother showed up and just kind of, like, took my wallet and left.
Yeah, he showed up and swiped my wallet, so that's pretty cool. Your family's pretty great. And Aruma's like, yeah, my family is pretty great. And then they get a picture.
Yeah, and then at the end they're announcing who won the competition, and it's probably going to be the Magic Battler.
It's probably gonna be the main characters.
Yeah, it's because he needs to, get the promotion.
I don't want to like be a little too presumptive, but I think the main characters are gonna win.
Yeah, especially because it's not like it's just for the feel goodness. It's like he needs it to be promoted. Yeah, so it's got to happen. Also, we spent a long time on this arc, so that should be some payoff for it.
Yeah, and that'll be cool because I think the way I think it's gonna pan out is they're gonna be like, well, your president was arrested, so you guys need to pick a new one real quick, and of course they're gonna pick Iruma to be the new one because. Why the fuck would they not? It's Asmodeus and Clara.
Unless he gets out in like one episode and it's like, he's good now. He's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Okay.
Hey, I'm back. Woo.
I get 2 ranks, guys. That's cool. Well, fuck him. He's a terrorist.
Darwin's game.
Guys, death games are pretty cool.
So in this episode, they free the guy the PUBG guy.
Yeah. Basically, they release everyone from their mental bonds.
Yeah, because they now need to team up because Wang is going to come.
A big old Wang is going to come.
They're going to get slapped with a big-ass Wang. But, yeah, so the PUBG guy, who turns out, I think his gamer name is Ryuji. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't want to work with the florist guy, naturally, because that dude brainwashed him.
I'd be pretty salty about that, too.
But then he hears about that big Wang coming after him.
He hears about that fucking throbbing Wang.
And he's like, you know what, I'm going to stick around for this Wang. Because it turns out this dude has beef with Wang.
You always gotta watch that Wang beef.
Because this dude's been trying to keep track of Wang.
You know what? You always gotta keep an eye on Wang. That's pretty important.
Yeah, he's gonna take care of Wang. He just as soon as he can get his hands on him,
he's gotta just wrap both his hands around Wang.
Yeah, I'm not sure his history with Wang, but something's
it's gotta be pretty deep.
He's got a deep history with Wang.
I bet he's gonna think pretty hard about it. So it's pretty easy to get to get him over to their side.
Yeah, so he decides to help them, and they just
split up the rings.
Yeah, and they're all basically fine with how it's distributed. They're gonna give the florist the most because,
he's locking down that place like a forest.
Yeah, and
fortress.
And Ryuji doesn't care because he's like, well, you just freed me, so I really don't have a right to complain.
Yep. And basically everyone else is just like, well, I don't want to die, so I'll take 3 so I don't die.
Meanwhile, the undefeated queen is basically going around just destroying everyone with her Spider-Man chains.
Yeah.
And then she's like, let me check the subway system. And I'm like, that's a bad idea. Your thing is basically being Spider-Man. Don't go into a tight, area where you can't move.
She's tired of being accosted by snipers, but I'm like, dude, you wrecked these idiots in 2 seconds. It's pretty easy. Why are you complaining? Just go to the...
It's like, I'm going to go in an area where my whole entire shtick is movement. I'm going to go to a place where I have, reduced movement, ability.
Also, her objective is to get to the hotel. You're going to go to an underground mall to get to the hotel?
Yeah, underground mall in a death game where people have special powers.
It's not smart.
Especially when her special power involves...
maneuverability and movement.
So, yeah. So, dumb decision on her part.
She makes a dumb decision to advance the plot.
Yep, and then she goes down there, and of course, oh, this was a dumb decision.
Turns out there's someone with a water sigil who can control water and shit, and it's a weird-ass little kid.
Yeah, it's a little kid, and then they put up a bunch of barriers of ice so she can't get through it, and then they're just gonna drown her.
Yeah, it's fairly simple, actually.
Yep, and so she messages or sends a help request to our main character, and he's like, I gotta go help her.
But everyone needs to talk about it for a sec.
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't think she'd send a help message just all willy-nilly. Really? Really? It's blowing my mind with these mental deductions here.
But Ryuji actually agrees to go help him because he's like, hey, we're going to need if we're going to fight Wang, we're going to need an A-ranked person. So, you know what? If she's strong, I'll help get her back.
We need a lot of strength to deal with this Wang.
Yeah. Honestly, we need just the strongest people. This is a big Wang coming after us.
We need someone who can really take it.
Someone who can take this Wang, and I'm pretty sure she's the type of person that can really take a Wang.
She looks like she's taken some Wang in her day. So they set out. There's also a side.
As long as this dude is existing, this is gonna be a thing.
That's gonna be his thing.
I hope he doesn't die in this arc, because imagine if we lose out on Wang.
I get a feeling that this guy is the big bad. Him and his clan are gonna be the big bad for the season.
We need his Wang and his little Wanglings.
We need Wang and we need big. See, what you got is you got the big Wang
and the little Wangs,
and then you got the little Wangs going around.
Yeah. Because they're called the 8th claners. It's just Wang and the little Wangs.
Wang and the little Yangs.
Wang and the Yangs.
But there's also a little side thing where our main character actually figures out, hey, well, first the analyst girl gets a weird deduction where she figures out that
we don't have time for side things, man.
Damn it!
Spit it out.
They figure out that there's something up with the rings, and the objective might not actually be to get 3 rings.
Yeah, and also the rings have QR codes they find out later, so...
with numbers on them, and I think the ones with decimals are coordinates, and I think the other ones are a code or something.
Also, Analyst is waiting to give him sniper support on the rooftop, even though it's underground, so...
she can help him until she gets there.
Yeah.
And then they encounter the same creepy little kid, but they're acting different.
I'm pretty sure her thing is probably her sigil makes her have split personality.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But she's like, don't go.
And Ryuji's sigil is he can tell if someone is lying or not.
Oh yeah.
Which again, comparatively to I make guns appear or I can create plant zombies, it's I'm a lie detector.
I can tell if you're lying. But even...
that is so worthless in a 1v1 situation.
Even Ryuji is yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
So, whatever. But turns out it's actually kind of useful, because he figures out that the kid is lying about not knowing anything.
Yeah, it's pretty much only useful in a team thing.
Yeah.
Which that's good that he's in the theme song joining the group.
I get the feeling that weird kid is also going to be joining the group.
Is it because she's in the theme song?
Maybe. Maybe.
Flora Sky is not in the theme song, so I want to say how that spells out for him.
Probably not good.
Yeah.
So they encounter the kid, and the kid's like, don't go into the underground mall, it's dangerous, and main character is like, but I gotta save my girlfriend.
And he jumps in.
And she's like, well, fuck.
And then, yeah, Ryuji's like...
Ryuji points the gun at her, and
he's
like,
like, I can tell you're lying.
You're a
also,
lying
things
piece
are
of
not
shit.
going well right now, because turns out my partner was dumber than I thought he would be.
I didn't think he would actually do that, so now we got that problem to deal with.
Yeah, and so she starts running away, and he's like, I don't want killing a kid on my conscience. Maybe I'll just kind of, like, wing her. And he's, like, planning on shooting her in the leg, but she throws his gun.
Yep, because that's her thing. And then the kid runs off, and we'll figure out how that resolves next week.
Yeah. Toilet-bound Hanako-kun.
I want to say, because I keep forgetting to say it, that I really like Hanako's voice actor. I think they do a very good job of transitioning from, like, creepy ghost to goofy kid.
I'm pretty sure it's Shinji Ikari's voice actor.
That wouldn't surprise me, I don't think.
Yeah, so it's like a household name.
Yeah, but it's very good. But anyway, on to the episode.
In this one, the first half is a tree.
Yeah, everyone's fallen in love because of a confession tree.
Yep, and these two dudes are, like, doing it as practice, and then the next day it's like...
They fall in love with each other, and they're very extra, and I love it. It's great.
And they find out that the tree is... Well, she thinks Hanako-kun is going to confess to her under the tree, because she's, like, trying to put all the pieces together, and she's like, oh, he kissed me on the cheek the other day? Maybe he likes me.
And she goes to her friend, who doesn't have any context for the scenario, so of course her friend's like, yeah, it sounds like he likes you.
And then she goes, and he's like, Yashiro. And he's like, I like you. Please go out with me. And she's like, well, I don't know. He's like, just quick, turn me down.
No, this is the part where you say no. You gotta say no here.
And she's like, no. And then the tree's like,
what the fuck?
People are supposed to say yes.
What the fuck are you doing?
And then he fights and he beats the tree, but he
pretty
really
easily.
Yeah, and then but that really hurts Yashiro's feelings because he realizes, oh, I fucked up.
He won the battle for the tree, but he lost in the battle of Yashiro's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, she's crying, and he's like, "Hold on, come here, give me a ghost hug before
Turns
you
out,
go home."
Also, the only reason he kissed her on the cheek was to put a charm there to protect her.
Yeah, it actually was a charm. He wasn't lying about it.
And in the next episode, we learn that the senpai that she had a crush on is the older brother of the priest guy.
And is also a ghost hunter.
Yeah, because they're from the Minamoto clan. And he's also more of a dick about it.
Yeah, he's an ass.
He's like, hey, bro, I don't think that ghost is a bad ghost. And he's like, there's no such thing as good ghosts.
No such thing as good ghosts. Now you get out there and you kill it, champ. You go and you take down that ghost.
And he's like, okay, big brother.
So, who the fuck knows how that's gonna turn out?
Who the fuck knows?
Who the fuck knows?
Who the fuck knows how that's gonna turn out? Oh, Somali in the Forest Pirates.
I'm out of pirate subtitles of movies, so we'll just move into that episode. Yeah. Desert time.
Yep, so in this episode, they're traveling through the desert, and they come across some people at a local tavern. One is a harpy, this girl who's a harpy, and some masked dude in, like, the plague mask, like the bird mask.
I was calling it that dude was a human as soon as he fucking sat down.
Yeah, and, yeah, they mention that they're trying to get across the desert because this guy's sick, and they're looking for a cure.
They need medicine. We need the medicines.
And Somali, Golem Daddy's like, we're actually looking for humans. And they're like, huh?
That's weird. Why are you doing that? And Golem's like,
research.
Yes, research. Totally.
But they agree to go together, and I could easily tell immediately that the harpy girl's plan was like, hey, that girl's totally a human. She smells like you. Why don't... Like, we're running out of time. Maybe her blood is the key to, like, saving you.
Yeah,
which, in the history of medicine, I don't think just consuming blood has ever helped, ever.
Synthesizing the blood of a healthy person into a cure for anything just doesn't happen, because that's not how vaccines and illness works.
Yeah.
The plot for this episode is pretty transparent the whole time.
Yeah, I think the harpy girl views the human dude as, like, her dad, so it's like a reverse scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they both, Somali's like, hey, you and me are kind of alike. I love my dad and you love your dad.
And she's like, wow, internally I know you're correct, but I'm not going to let you know that.
Yeah, and so they end up staying in a cave while in the desert. And inside the cave, like, the girls go off to, like, gather some water. But then the other human guy's like, listen, I gotta be straight with you. I'm a human, and your daughter's in danger.
You gotta go save her.
And we see at the end of the episode that she turns into, like, full monster, like, harpy form, and she's like, please forgive me, but I'm going to kill you so I can use your blood to heal my father.
See, there's a couple things with this plan that I don't understand. The first one that we've already discussed, the plan just at its base makes no sense.
She's a harpy, so she's got bird brains.
Got him.
Got bird brains.
Got him. Second off, why does she have to kill the child? Why can't she be like, I will take some of your blood. I will take samples of your blood. I need to kill you and drain all of your blood.
Also, how does she plan on transporting that? She took her far away. She'll probably, like, be out of blood by the time she drags her back. Oh, wait, they do have buckets,
dude.
They dropped one.
Well, that means that, you know what?
It's like a Frank Reynolds solution. Like, they bring it back, and it's just like, is this blood?
We got it for the cure. We can cure Charlie of his disease. How, Frank? That makes no sense.
I dumped it everywhere. And scoop it up, it's still good.
Charlie, lap up the puddles.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. And something tells me Somali is not going to die.
You know what? That would surprise me a lot if she died in the next episode.
Yeah.
That would have me in an absolute loss of where the show's going to go next.
Now it's just Anne the Forest Spirit.
The Forest Spirit. And the bucket of Somali.
Show by rock.
Show your rock.
So they get real concert tickets this time.
Yeah, to like an actual band that plays.
And as they're there, they're like, oh, this is what they do at the end of every show. They take one fan and they bring him up on stage with them. And, of course, it's Hoenn that gets picked.
Because, well, who else would it be?
And then, apparently, they're all like, they're really weird about it. It's like, who's going to be tonight's delicacy?
The feast.
And then they just bring her back. Like, they hang out with her for, like, an entire, like, evening.
They hang out with her for a long-ass time.
They're like, hey, you want to go back to our apartment with us? And then they bring her back there just so they can fall asleep. And, like, she just does their housework because that's the type of person Hoenn is.
And they're like, wow, that was pretty cool. Hey, you want to come record with us the next day? Fuck, sure, okay. Meanwhile, everyone else is like,
is she okay?
Where is she? She's gone. She disappeared.
And while they're at the recording studio, one of her friends actually, or one of the band members takes her phone. She's like, oh, she's got a friend with a text from her friends. Here, I'll just text them back. I'm fine. Don't look for me.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Hearts. Here's a picture of where I am. It's so cool here. And the fucking picture is of the recording studio, and you can see like the back half of Hoenn's tail and leg.
And they end up asking about like, it's like, hey, do you want to come on tour with us and be our man, like, or our assistant?
You want to be our assistant?
And she's like, yeah,
sure, I need a job.
And the leader of the band's just constantly like, not yet. She'll be more ripe soon.
She smells delicious, but we need to let her grow.
Yeah, and of course all of her friends are like, we want her to come back with us. So they come,
we found your recording studio based on the picture of the interior of it that you sent us.
And she decides, she's like, don't you want to make your dreams come true and play in a band? She's like, I do, but I want to play with these girls.
I want to play with my friends. I want to be in my friends' band.
But they seem satisfied with it because they kind of wanted a rival, apparently.
Yeah. Because they wanted the rival so that everyone could grow. Because everyone knows that you can only truly grow when you have a rival challenging you.
My rival.
That's why we need a rival for the podcast.
We do. We need a rival for the podcast. If you message us on our either DM us on like our Twitter or Facebook if you want to be our rival. That's our business inquiry.
Business inquiries only. Let's go to like, I know they have cons with a lot of like podcast hosts and stuff. Let's just go and challenge all of them and declare that we are everyone's rival. Let's just openly challenge every podcast. We'll grow so fast. It'll be great.
Dude, they picked a fight with everybody, and they lost to everybody.
To everyone, pretty handily. It was hard to watch. And then we grow because of the sympathy vote.
It's like an actual fight, too. Like, it's just us on, like, the floor of some convention center, like a bunch of dudes in, like, Naruto headbands taking cell phone video as we get the shit kicked out of us.
I didn't think they'd actually fight us. That's not what I meant.
Man, why are these podcast hosts so physically fit?
All you do is sit at a desk and talk all day. How'd you get so strong?
One Punch Man.
Ugh.
Seton Academy, join the pack.
Guys, let's join a pack.
So this was actually a neat episode. It was the school festival episode, and they're running the gauntlet.
Yeah, everyone wants to do it, except no one wants to do it.
No one in the cooking club wants to do it.
Everyone else is super hype, including Ranga.
Yeah, she wants to, but like none of her people want to, so she's all like upset about that. But apparently the sloth wants to.
Yeah, the sloth, who I had actually forgotten was into sports and fitness until just now,
yeah, and she's
is
like,
super into it.
I want to be a part of the festival.
Miyubi,
that's her name.
Yeah, Miyubi.
Yeah,
because they shouted a lot in this episode.
Yeah, so they end up training, and of course she takes like one step in like the three-legged race and is down.
Yeah, because she's a sloth and she dies.
But they do
time.
have her train, and she's actually able to complete the three-legged race with her.
Eventually. They are also helped by the naked mole rats because they are in charge of setting everything up for some reason.
They're the student council.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's
student
right.
council sets everything up.
I still think I'd want someone maybe a little bigger to set up some of those tents.
They're strong because of their unity.
Yeah, but
they're the ants of the mammals.
Yeah, but could we get like the gorilla to just like the tents, like at least the tents, because those are big. They get the big sheets on them.
I don't think gorillas care though about setting things up.
You know what? I don't think I can argue with that. I also don't think gorillas care about setting things up.
They end up the next day though. It's time for the event, and Miyubi is super extra. She's fast. She's talking fast.
Fast for her. She's talking like a normal person.
Yeah, and she's able to run.
And everyone's like,
she's like, yeah, guys, I just had all this energy today.
Wow, training really must have helped. Except,
and then Jin's like, no, that's not how that works.
And then she dies. Turns out she's got a cold.
Yeah,
and it's elevated her heart rate, which has made all of her movements faster.
But since that happened, she won't be able to participate. And this is where Jin feels bad because, all the work the two put in. So he's like, all right, we'll figure out a way to win this.
We'll figure out a way. And turns out that the real competition in the, competition
is the chimpanzees, because they just keep, like, using
assholes.
tools and cheating, because, chimpanzees.
I hate chimpanzee girl's face.
I actually really liked her design.
I love her. Her design is amazing, but her face makes me hate her so much.
So the chimpanzees keep, like, cheating their way to victory.
Throwing bananas over the course.
Yeah. And so they end up... The cooking club actually starts to make a comeback when Jin realizes what they have to do. So he, for example, in the arm wrestling competition, has Koala Girl do it. So she goes to arm wrestle a gorilla, and they're like, gorillas are some of the strongest animals on the planet. But apparently some say that koalas have a grip strength of a ton, and she just, like, slams down the gorilla's hand.
She stomps him, dude. Breaks the table. Get out of here. Seat yourself, gorilla.
And then everyone's doing well. He actually gets the zebra girl, it turns out, joins the donkeys, and they form their own club. It's Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering, which is kind of amusing to me.
Yeah.
Because you got the popular, like, scene leader girl, and now she's super into magic. She's the best at it.
With the donkeys. And he actually recruits them to help them.
Because there's a...
part where they have to go up a mountain, and he convinces the donkeys, he's like,
yeah.
You guys are perfect for that. Do you know Napoleon actually rode a donkey over the Alps? And then they were like, get super inspired by that, and he's like, well, technically he only rode the donkey at the lowest elevation, but still, they don't need to know that.
They don't need to know that part. They're inspired.
Yeah, and he just keeps tactically planning ways that his group can win until, what's her name? The human girl?
I can't remember.
Yeah, human girl basically is supposed to do the swimming competition, but then she gets drugged by chimpanzees.
They literally break into the changing room and not chloroform. They use natural drugs, but they basically chloroform her.
Yeah, and so they knock her out, and then they need a substitute, but, like, Jin's like, no. He's like, we need, like, the wolf girl wants to, but he's like, no, we need you for the final stretch. We can't have you tire yourself out here. But then Miyubi...
She's better now, kind of.
Yeah, she decides that she wants to be the one to do it. And apparently sloths, like, the only thing they can do is swim. Probably because it keeps their temperature lower. so they
guess
don't like overheat.
that would make sense to me.
Yeah, so she swims the whole way, and everyone starts cheering for her.
And Chimpanzee Girl goes by on a fucking boat.
Yeah.
Fuck Chimpanzee Girl, I hate her.
But Miyubi does it. She makes it to the end. And then Renka, it's Renka, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ranka.
Ends up chasing Chimpanzee Girl through the jungle and basically threatens the shit out of her.
Yeah, that's also very good.
And she's like, if you mess with my pack again, I'll eat you.
I will bite you in fucking half, you.
And she scares the shit out of the Chimpanzee Girl that she actually, like, passes out.
Yeah.
And the Cooking Club wins.
And the Cooking Club wins, guys.
I really like how it's like the chimpanzee came in second, but third is a giraffe, so he looks like he took first.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And because the donkeys help them, they give them half of their club room.
You can use the corner in our club room to play that weird game.
Yeah.
And they do. And everyone's happy except the chimpanzees, but who cares? Fuck them.
Yeah, it was a good episode. I think this was the best one yet.
I would say so. This one was the most satisfying. It had a good emotional payoff. Characters developed. There was a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Everything you could ever hope for. Much like
Inspectre.
Inspectare.
So, Kuro is busy fighting Steel Lady Nanase.
Turns out Kuro isn't a very good hand-to-hand combat fighter, though, which should surprise no one.
And Kotoko and Saki are watching, and of course, Saki's like, this is terrible, we have to do something, and Kotoko's like, nah, he's good.
He's not gonna, what's he gonna do, die?
And she's like, I'm sure he's probably prepared to take a steel beam to the face at least twice.
You know what? And he does.
Yeah, he gets his head smashed in.
And he dies, and he comes back, because of course he does.
And then when he comes back, we see that he's almost like, he's like got perfect movements and reflexes, because he just stops right before the beam would have hit him.
And then goes around and gets the upper hand on our Spectre.
Because we learn about Kuro's childhood, and apparently his grandpa was fucking crazy.
Yeah, he was so hell-bent.
Well, not his grandma's like grandpa. Basically, someone down the line wanted to basically make them in the family all-seeing.
Yeah, because there's a...
Kudon.
Yeah, Kudon.
There's a yokai called the Kudon that apparently can, like, predict the future, so he's like, you know what? If we eat Kudon meat, we'll be able to predict the future. But, of course, everyone who did that, like, died instantly, or basically saw the future and then died after telling it.
Yeah, so it's not great.
And he's like, well, we just need to compensate by having a mortal body, so feed a mermaid and then Kudon.
And that still doesn't work for a long-ass time.
Yep, but then Kuro's grandma decides to feed all the children Kudon and mermaid.
And most of them die.
Except for Kuro.
Yes. He is the only survivor, and I like how she's like, I need to test this.
What's the weather
I need to know what the weather tomorrow is going to look like.
And she just stabs him. And apparently she does a bunch of fucked up experiments on him where she basically dulls his sense to pain because she just probably kills him in every way possible.
Yeah, she kills him so much that he just doesn't feel pain anymore.
But yeah, that's Kuro's thing, is he can see the future, but only when he dies.
Yeah, which is pretty helpful that he can come back.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, in the actual timeline, he snaps the ghost's neck.
Yeah, he gets it in like a chokehold and then breaks its neck.
It's pretty savage.
And that's what I like about Kotoko, where she's like, that's just one of his manly charms. And Saki's like, I don't need a boyfriend who can snap a ghost's neck.
I don't know, dude. I'd be pretty stoked if my significant other could fucking snap a ghost's neck.
Yep, and then after they realize that that's not enough to beat it, so Kotoko tells him, like, all right, she's like, Kuro-senpai, that's not going to work, so we got to come up with another strategy.
We'll go back to the drawing board. I think I've got some information now. And then the ghost fucks off.
Yeah, and so he's like, hey, I didn't expect you to be here, Saki. And she's like, yeah, I didn't expect you to be here either. And Kotoko basically says to him, well, I wasn't going to have you two meet each other under any of all circumstances, so this is worst case scenario for me.
And Kuro does admit to being Kotoko's boyfriend.
Yeah, she's like, is this your girlfriend? Is it true? And he's just...
He looks defeated.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
He's like, also, I want you to apologize because I know you probably caused Saki some trouble in any way, shape, or form.
And you know what? He's not wrong.
Yeah.
So then they all have a meeting. They're all the best of friends, and they all have a meeting.
I like Kotoko and Kuro's relationship.
Yeah.
Like how they're both sitting there and she's like, I know what you're thinking. You're staring at her back. He's like, no, that's just your imagination. She's like, no, you're thinking to yourself, wow, she lost a lot of weight. Is that because of me? But she does look really nice and she does have great hips. And he's like, yep, spot on. You got it. That's exactly what I was thinking.
You got me. It's very endearing to see all of these characters interact with each other. So basically we figure out what the ghost is. Turns out urban legends can become actual evil spirits.
And turns out that the ghost looks exactly like its picture online, which Kotoko has deduced that the online wiki was not created because of the ghost.
The ghost was created because of the wiki.
Yep. And so that was like whoever put the image on there basically is what associated people with it, how it's supposed to look. So the public consciousness has created it.
Yeah, because that can happen sometimes.
And the wiki's only making it stronger.
Only making it stronger. So how do you defeat something that is basically an urban legend?
I don't know why I thought about that meme where it's like, yo man, how can you be cyberbullied? Just walk away from the screen.
This screen follows you around. So how do you defeat this urban legend? You make a new one, or you change it. You make it better.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the Hanakoku thing. Ghosts get more powerful based on their legend.
Yeah, and they need to find a way to fuck up its legend so it's not as strong anymore.
Yeah, so we'll see next time.
Next time on Inspector.
I hate getting hurt. Where is my defense buff?
Buff my defense, please. Buff it.
So it's like kind of nearing to the end of the event, and they're like, hey, we should try some PvP. And she's like, but Maple, I'll do the PvP. You just kind of hang on to our medals just in case we both die.
You're indestructible, so you let me handle all the PvPing.
And she goes around and murders everybody.
It's savage. She actually turns into like an edgy demon protagonist.
Like, nothing. She actually goes nothing personnel, kid.
Yeah,
like she fully just jumps into the air with her two blades and just starts
in front of a blood red moon.
Starts like teleporting behind people.
It's very good watching her do, because she's like, I'm gonna shake off a little bit of that PvP rust. Let's slaughter, and she does, but she only gets like 3 medals, I think.
Yep, and then I forgot the start of this episode is with the katana chick.
Oh yeah, because that's where they left off.
Yeah, so the katana chick and them are about to fight, and turns out she's just as fast as Sally, but they all fall into a pit trap together.
Yep.
And then they have to do a dungeon together where they're all chained together, because if one of them dies, they all die. So of course they decide on a truce.
Hey, maybe we should truce up instead of killing all of us.
But they work together, and they find that they're
a good team.
They're a good team, and they become friends, and they send each other friend requests.
Yeah.
So it's official.
And they even give, because at the end of the dungeon, of course, there's sweet loot.
There's a medal for each of them, essentially.
Yeah. And they give, like a staff, I think it is, to Samurai Girl. And then they're all buddy-buddy, and then they all leave. And
yep. And they hang out till then the last day of the event, and
because Sally comes back from her merciless slaughter.
And she only got like 2 medals too, so she was like, no one has anything.
And everyone's fucking broke. I murdered so many people today, and none of them even had anything.
But the event ends, and they all get new skill points that they can buy, and Maple buys one where she can make her.
While Sally is out doing PvP, Maple is grinding Pokemon.
Yeah, she makes her Pokemon turtle able to grow really big and float.
Yeah, because she uses her special skill point to get psychokinesis. So she rides on top of her giant floating turtle.
The Flying Fortress.
And she also picks up an acid rain ability. So like they watch her float up on this like cartoonishly adorable giant turtle, and then she just acid rain on a group of enemies and incinerates all of them. So yeah,
and
Maple.
Even the developers are like, "What did Maple like? You guys have to pay attention to what Maple did next." And they're like, "I don't want to hear it.
I don't care."
And it's like, "No, I think you should.
You should, guys.
Patch this shit.
Patch. Patch Maple. She is too busted. Now she is basically a big Death Fortress turtle riding just insanity acid rain with the poison.
Like, how are you supposed to fight that? Like, if I bought that game and I'm like, oh, this is really fun. I just kept dying and the giant flying death squad appears.
Is this the episode? Was the crack in this episode too?
Yeah. They fight a boss and Maple kills it because it flies around in like the water, and she's like, "Oh, I'll just turn all the water into poison."
And she does. She turns the entire ocean arena into poison and kills the boss.
Yeah.
Guys,
this is an MMO and they just keep soloing everything.
Maple is busted. Patch her.
Patch this shit.
Patch Hydra. Patch the freaking Black Knight's armor. Put skill caps on people. Cap people's stats.
Yeah, cap this shit.
Cap this shit.
Also, don't give anyone immunity to anything.
Yeah, that's busted. I don't know why that would be in the game in the first place. That's just a terrible idea.
And she got that at like level 5.
Yeah. Here, I will just out-heal the poison forever, and I will become immune to it. Guys, you disappoint. You dropped the ball. You dropped the ball, devs.
You made a bad game.
You made a bad game.
But it's a cool show.
And Maple's having fun.
Yeah.
And I like everybody. Everyone's cool. So that was this week in seasonal anime.
That was this week in anime.
Or at least these 10 shows.
Good shit. I'm excited to find out what's going to go on with that Wang next week.
Yeah,
my mind is on Wang right now.
I got some big Wang on my mind. I got a big Wang mind brain.
So if you want to come back next week and hear more about some Wang,
if you want some big Wang in your life too, then stick around. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Make sure the notification bell is rung. That's
we're
very
also
important.
on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Deezer.
And I got a special one for you. Guess what else we're on now? iHeartRadio.
Ooh.
That's a big one.
Ooh.
We hit that mark on Libsyn.
We got Wang on the radio.
Now we got Big Wang on the radio.
And you can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Protagonist
for also updates on when we post things.
Yeah, we'll update you on the Wang.
We'll update you on any Wang-related developments and also any show-related developments.
Yeah,
like Protagonist Seat show, not the shows.
Yeah, well, we'll update you on both of them.
Yeah, we'll update you on the podcast on our social media, and we'll update you on the shows in our podcast.
Yeah, so there you go. You get to learn everything all the time.
It's a big fucking Tower of Wang.
It's a Tower of Wang. All right, I'm going to stop before we do another Wang joke, so let's move on.
That's enough Wang for now.
That's enough Wang for now. See you next week.